this is DJ Shortbus, and welcome to another Champion Stock video. This one here is my Save the Earth Basic Mission Breakdown. And I made this one for people who have either never done Save the Earth before, or maybe you've done it, and you're still like, what the heck was going on in there? Alright, so it's broken down into 5 phases. The first phase is basically everybody still loading in, the gathering. And while you're in that room, that little airlock, there are some things you can interact with. There's a computer so you can learn more about the Save the Earth alerts. There's an Arcola machine if you need some heal potions. There is a box with stabilization belts for a time when there's no gravity. There is a targeting dummy, as well as a rock that you can kick around, play keep away, and you can get a perk for kicking around. All right, so phase 2 starts when you've got everybody in and you've opened up the door. So during this part here, you've got some minions. You got to defeat 25 of them. They're going to be in the hallway. There's also going to be some who are going to be appearing in the starting area, so be careful. All right, step 3, you've got some turrets. And there's 4 of them on the base floor there. Also, I want to point out there are no movement powers. To defeat the turrets, between each of the turrets is a little panel. That panel will remove the force field that's on the turrets. So when the force field is down, you can zap away at the turrets, take them down as best you can for a certain amount of time before the force field goes back up. In which case, take the turret force field off again. When you defeat all 4 of those turrets, while you're also fighting a bunch of minions, once you've defeated the last turret, you want to stay together with the rest of your group, and because there's going to be a teleport thing that's going to appear on one of the ramps, and that's going to take you upstairs for phase 4. Phase 4 has us teleporting upstairs to take out parts of the force field. There's also a bubble that will appear, and if you're not blocking, you will get knocked off of there and fall down to the floor where there is electricity that will zap you and kill you. Phase 5 is once the force field is down, you can defeat the Nemesis, and there will be no gravity during this part here. Alright, let's see how this all plays out. Alright, so here we are doing the gathering phase. There's the computer, there's the Arcola machine if you want to get some sodas. You've got that rock to kick, let's kick it. There we go. There's the targeting dummy, and of course the box of stabilization belts. Alright, so everybody's in here. We've moved into phase 2. It's time for the ambush. So go into the hallway and fight some guys, and then back in the entry area there's going to be some guys back there too. And one of the things I like to do during this phase is take a look at the rest of the party and see, like, okay, what do we got? Do we got tanks? Do we got somebody who's doing some healing? Is anybody bringing like some aura of radiant protection that's going to help us out? And I basically made the decision that, like, you know what, I want to make sure that I can live. Nobody else is taking care of my health, so I'm going to go ahead and put on my tank roll with some regeneration. And, oh, by the way, there's the last of those guys. And we moved into phase 3. So here's where the Nemesis comes out, and you go, oh, yes, now we know who the Nemesis is that we have to fight. And we move into going to take out the turrets. So you notice I've got movement power, I've still got it, whoop, and it's gone. And you can see the little panel over there, it's glowing. It's right now to my character's right, and that is between 2 of the turrets, which right now have a green force field on them. And if you can take down the panel without being interrupted, I keep waiting for the one guy to take it down. Okay. By the way, those red bubbles, when they appear on you, that basically is a damage debuff. So when something shoots you, you take a whole bunch. I think it's the turrets. Anyway, so we take down, and look, the turrets for both sides of that panel. The force fields went down, and it's time to do as much damage as we possibly can until the words immune, 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 there they are, just start popping up there. So we need to take down the turret again. Now, during this phase, if you've got like somebody who's sort of like a designated tank or whatever, they're going to be trying to round up as many of these people to be away from you as possible. And really, that's one of the key things. You want to have like whoever's operating the turret, or I'm sorry, whoever's operating the panel, not get interrupted. And if one of those bubbles gets on top of you, get out of it. That's your priority there. Take your time. There's no rush. There's no timer on this part here. You don't have a timer until you get to the Nemesis. But anyway, so we want to remove the force field again, and we can start taking down the turret again. And there we go. We took down that turret, and then heck, well, the force field's down on this one. Let's go ahead and get started on it. And well, it's immune already. So we got to go over. We interact with the panel again, and hope that everybody else is getting the attacks, or that you're not going to get interrupted in that part. All right, need to get out of that thing. Take down the turret. And what you're not seeing right now is one of the tanks is taking a. Maybe you can sort of see through the, I don't know, through the core there. There's a tank over there who's got a lot of the Nemesis. Nemesis? No, actually, this is the henchmen over there, and keeping them away from us. We still get some around us. They're spawning in like basically all four corners of this floor. All right, so we take down another turret. Yay! All right, and two more turrets later, we've taken out all the turrets, all four of them, and now it's time to go up to one of the ramps, whether it be the one you came down on originally or the one on the opposite side. I do recommend staying with your group. In this case here, I think we had one person who's off doing their own thing. Good luck, you know. So we're going to teleport up, and this brings us to the second floor. On the second floor, you've got force fields, 4 of them that you got to take down. Fortunately, you just zap these force fields. You don't have to do any panel things or anything. But you do have to worry about this bubble, is if you're not blocking, when that bubble, you know, pops, I guess, you're going to go flying. So the goal here is to basically deal with the minions, take down the force field, and block every time you see that force field. I recommend keeping your camera at an angle so that you can see when it comes up. You know, like right there, we can see it clearly. We know it's time to block, and looks like everybody else knew it was time to block that time too. And things went flying, and you know, we just got to fight these guys, destroy the force field, and you know, learn how to walk while you block, because that'll help keep you alive for, you know, either A, you're fighting the minions, or B, you're fighting or you're protecting yourself from getting knocked off the platform there. Alright, so we're about ready to take down the last force field, and one thing you want to make sure is that your whole team is in this room, because at the beginning of the last phase, the door will be locked. So now the door is going to be locked. Nobody can get in if they're locked out. And also, whoop, there goes gravity. Yeah, I said it. So we're going to go around, we're going to float around until we can find the Nemesis, and we want to fight him. What you want to do, or at least what I like to do, and I've seen a lot of other people do this too, is you want to take him away from that floor there where basically, the second level, where all the minions are spawning. If you can get him down, you can take him out. You can fight him with there. I mean, if you've got a decent healer, you got some decent damage mitigation, sure, go for it. Do lots of AoEs, and you can fight him right there along with all the other stuff. But like in this group here, we don't have a healer, so let's, you know, get him out of there if anything for the squishy guys. But the squishy guys want to stay up there and fight him. I don't know what the heck we're gonna do. Another problem is when you're trying to get down, you got to get everybody to sort of want to come down with him. Or come down with you at least, because the Nemesis will basically say, okay, who's closest here? And if everybody that's closest is still up there, they're just going to stay up there and keep fighting and have all the support of all their henchmen. What you have to do is you got to, you know, sometimes you got to wait for one of the guys to die up there and bring them down. Now, I've got an extra problem here because with the lightning powers, normally I wouldn't be getting aggro, but because I arc, I'm zapping these other guys too. Okay, so the Nemesis is coming down. We're going to control this fight and take him out, you know, lickety-split. Unfortunately, this guy's got like a force field that he keeps putting up too, so it's like a little extra, you know, damage that we have to do or to get through here. I'm not worried about the two guys who are zapping me because we've got enough AoEs that they're going to, you know, go down with all that other stuff. Yeah. So now it's just taking down the Nemesis, and we've got enough people here for doing the damage that we shouldn't have to worry about the timer and how long it takes to get them down. If too many people are getting locked out, people are dead, it can make it a lot harder to take down the Nemesis. You know, but you know, make sure, you know, find out who's got self-reses, who's got the ability to res other people when you're going into this stuff, or you know, just like if you die, you know, let people know I can res people once I res myself, that kind of thing. Because we had a situation where it was like I was on Shorticus and I was doing the damage, but you know, I didn't have enough to do it in the amount of time to get through to the Nemesis stuff, you know, by myself. Fortunately, we had one person who was dead but didn't have their own self-res, and another person who was dead who had a self-res and the ability to res somebody else. So as soon as their timer was up, they resurrected themselves, resurrected the other person, and we actually managed to get through the rest of the fight. We had 2 people who were locked out on that fight. Kind of, you know, so you just got to be aware of, like, you know, where people are, where you're at. Do you have the ability to self-res? You know, take some of those extra self-res things you get out of lock boxes and stuff. That should be fine. And then, of course, when you've got taken him down to a sliver of his health left, he'll do this little thing where he's going to run away and live to fight another day. And that takes you to the end of the mission. Used to be we had to hit the panel ourselves. We don't have to do that anymore. Mission is over. And now for the best part of the stabilization belt. Go get your loot. And it'll just lock you in place. You can get your loot. You can also, just tap yourself into, position there if you didn't get the belt. But that's pretty much it for the mission there. So good luck on your Save the Earth, and like, comment, and subscribe.